what I wanted to say is that it's trained, and that's based on available information on the internet. But if you want it to be very specific for an industry or for a field, you need to train it yourself. So if you ask very technical questions to it, you are going to get generic questions or explanations of what it may have learned from the internet, but it may not have deep knowledge of what you are specifically asking it to do, especially if it's a very technical task or the like, right? So if you ask it about construction materials, it will only give you generic things and not so much of what you really want. So we need to train AI to absorb deep knowledge of the specific profession we wanted to master. Or the specific task we wanted to have for the basis of the knowledge, but also to make it, to give direction of the outcome that we expect and the process that it needs to follow to achieve that outcome. Now, what's happening in construction? We've been very little digital till date. Everything it's been in paper. What is digital is not very accurate, or I wouldn't rely on that because you don't really know the versions, who has compiled that information. It's like history. Whoever writes history ends up with a different story. So it's the same with construction, and specifically applied to construction budgets and an economy. There is very poor traceability of the information that is going through a project, through all the lives, all the stages of a project and the entire life cycle of a project. Even today, which we will believe that we are using digital tools and so on, but
not really.
Because we are not very consistent with naming conventions and BIM and the common data environment is still very loose, and eventually a machine will be able to maybe join the dots, but as per today, the information is still very poor and not very with a low reliability score.
So when you then say historical bias, it's really the learning of the AI and the training that it has been given by humans is based on the information that has been collected. And if we're taking the construction industry with a very low quality of information, it means two things I get. One is that, well, our information is still very poor, so the answers you're getting back maybe aren't as accurate. And secondly, if your information is poor quality and wrong, you're also potentially getting a wrong answer from when you use AI to solve problems.
Or maybe, yes, wrong or maybe more of the same, which we know that is not maybe the direction we want to take because we would like to improve it. So when we give AI centuries and centuries of the same, we haven't been innovative, so we are very conventional, we are very traditional. The way we build is exactly the same. The way we track, the way we manage the teams, the labor, materials, everything has had so little change over centuries. It's nowadays that maybe we are like breaking a little the direction, but we risk AI being biased towards what it seems to be the way. The way is the way it's been done for centuries. Therefore, the new thing is risky. The new thing is unknown, uncertainty. We don't have 50 years of that material in construction to actually understand it is a good material to choose. It is a good method of construction. And therefore, the information to support a success rate is very low as well.
Technically don't use it just
so technically don't use it. It's risky, or there might be consequences. I cannot give you full answers. So the way AI works is that it gives you a score, and that score. So like till date, we've been making decisions without really a lot of information behind, more like based on feelings, based off human knowledge or experiences of humans. But this is changing in the way that AI works with statistics, and it gives you a number. So if you have a project that AI has designed, or an element of that project, or you say, based on historical data, supported by centuries of data and decades of this material works, this way of construction works, this building is still there, little maintenance. Many like very robust outcome, let's say. and it gives you 90% robustness, this is gonna last, this is good, this is safe, this good for the insurance company.
Suddenly we're building rubble stone again, and
concrete blocks or whatever, right? And it was on budget because it's ABC. People know how to do it. Very robust in many different ways. Quality, time, cost, budget, materials, everything. But also it gives you an alternative that is based on modern methods of construction that requires training of the personnel to execute because it's new, that has new materials that have been tested but not over time because we haven't been there. Or whatever you could think of disrupting the traditional conservative way of working. And it gives you a very low score of reliability and robustness because, of all these missing data to support the decision of choosing that. We are going to face a challenge. So AI may not be biased in the way that is only generating more of the same. Could also define an outcome to do less of the same. But it will come with a ratio, or with a score, of
high risk value,
risk or
cost,
success,
time,
and now we face a dilemma because we as humans need to choose one or the other. The insurance companies, of course, will also may take advantage of this technology. The contractor that has to take responsibility for that will probably also take advantage of this score. So now, who takes the responsibility of taking one decision or the other? Do we want new or do we want safe and secure? Today, we do that without a number. We do that based on feelings. Oh, we want this to be, to be outstanding. We want to be an emblem. We want to be symbolic. We want, to be architecturally designed. Like, we want to be more sustainable. That when it comes to number, that decision might be harder to make.
And it is today in our traditional process when we've all been on the projects that have started off with the strategy of to be the more sustainable, to get the highest certification, to be the on time, on budget, highest quality. We've been on. Everybody has started a project in that nature, but suddenly we realize that the most sustainable is going to cost you more, or it's going to take you longer, and suddenly, well, you're changing direction slightly. Then aren't you on that strategy? So it seems like that we're not in a position for AI to offer solutions, but just for AI to qualify certain components or to validate some information that is necessary for us.
AI can have, and there is a lot of discussions around this, right? But the AI can have a different point of view, can be creative in the way that can disrupt kind of crazy ideas that we couldn't even think of or consider. But it gives you a rate, like a number behind. So, it might actually be into consideration if you can support that with backup data of, we didn't think of that to be possible, but actually, we have numbers to support it. So in that regard, it could actually be an advantage, right? But in regards to new solutions, and I think we've discussed this in a previous podcast with Roger, it could also fall into same as we humans, professionals in construction tend to go for the same solutions we know because we feel comfortable with them, because we know they are good for certification. So we could always use the same materials to be more sustainable. So it potentially may happen the same with AI, that it tends to go to the same materials, to the same solutions that are widely used. Because it's the ones where there is more information, more data, more supporting thing.